I'm a microbiologist, and so that's my training. I started out at the University of Nairobi, so my initial goal was to start in science and go to vet school. When I came to Guelph, I then started, settling into microbiology, which I'd done my PhD in. There's always something new to study. You're building on what other people have or are developing, and it always kind of guides you, or you in a new direction, or you see something new in your work you hadn't seen before. So it's exciting, it's challenging. That keeps me interested and going. And I think even by the time I retire, I'll still be thinking of other things to do. With the undergraduate students, it depends on the class that I'm teaching. Some classes are pretty large and you don't get to see or know as many people. For my graduate students, you work closely with them, over a number of years, 2 years for a master's student or 4 or 5 years for a PhD student. So you get to know them beyond just they're your student. You get to know what they're doing, what their interests are in life, and you realize you also have an impact on how they're developing and the area that they're going to be involved in. By the time they do their PhD, you really are friends with them. So you see them develop over that time. It's also realizing we all start somewhere to learn. You get a lot more out of students by being, taking your time and listening to them. I'm also impatient, I'm not always patient at all. But you get a lot more out of the student, and also to know them and understand where they're coming from. So you might as well take your time. We were 9 siblings in my family, and I'm the oldest. You learn how to slow down, because you always have to deal with the younger ones, and they're going to take their time. We have international students, and we have this program that is trying to pair a mentor with an international student. And I thought, that's interesting. So I got a couple students from the Caribbean islands, and they're extremely smart students. They needed to talk to someone. You're asking about their program, their work, their studies, so you're interested in that aspect, but also how they're coping, being away from home. Do they have family close by? Do they know anybody? How do you get into the community? You get to really know how they got to where they are. And they're very interesting students, very hardworking. My mentorship have been not only female, I've had very strong female mentors. I've also had incredibly supportive male mentors. Having that balance in committees is really useful because you get both aspects. Women should be presented, men should be present. Most of our graduate students are women. Young women of Guelph think beyond the traditional areas of study. Sciences are really quite interesting and not intimidating. But also find the women mentors there as well as the men. We have a lot of good support in both categories. But it would be really useful very, very nice to see many women, far more women, get into the higher levels of science, and especially from the immigrant society as well, because that provides a nice balance as well.